It's the Baseball Talk Radio Show with Rich and Gary, and I'm back. And hello and welcome to the Baseball Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Gary Mack, and my co-host and good friend, Rich Baxter, is on assignment, so he won't be doing the show with me tonight. But we figured we would give it a go, or I would give it a go to get an episode out there for you all, and hope everyone had a terrific week. Lots of stuff going on in Major League Baseball, as you know. Injuries are forefront again, as the players are dropping like flies and silly things. I mean, just for an example, Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees pitcher, got hamstring tweaks. He's on a disabled list, felt both hamstrings trying to score from third on a sacrifice fly in an interleague game. And, I mean, that stuff's crazy. This guy should be stretched out for that kind of thing. He should be ready to go. I don't understand the conditioning of these pitchers in the American League. If a simple thing is running the bases, injures them, it's really crazy. But we will see. Another problem that is coming up with some blisters on fingers of the pitchers, and Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese import this year that's tearing up everybody and having a great year, is out for the Angels for 10 days. He has a blister on his right middle finger. And we'll see. The number of other pitchers have had this problem. Rich Hill, Matt Bowman, Zach Rosscup are all currently on a disabled list with blisters that prevent them from pitching. And there is a doctor of he writes for The Athletic, Dr. Meredith Wills, thinks she's found the cause for both of these reasons: the home runs, hitting more home runs, and the blister problem, and that she says there is thicker lacing yarn on the outside of baseball. When MLB released its report of the committee, remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked about that. The committee said the ball was more aerodynamic, and it was, but it wasn't juiced or anything. It was just going more, had nothing to do with the new swings. I don't know. I never was good at science, but this is what they're saying. And but Dr. Wills did an experiment. She took apart 26 balls, 12 from the pre-surge years of 2014-15 and 14 from 2016 and 17, and tried to keep the materials as intact as possible. She measured a variety of factors between the materials of the two population of balls and found one major difference: the thickness of the bright red yarn used to stitch or lace the baseballs together. The yarn used in 2016 and 17 was 9% thicker than the yarn used in 2014. And we know that, pitches are so... We see them all the time. If they don't like the feel of a ball, they're tossing it out of play and constantly doing things like that. So I guess I'm surprised they didn't really feel this. But this is what this doctor from the Athletic website is claiming, and it might seem small, 9%, but for pitchers who touch the ball with their bare hands more than any other kind of player, it could make a huge difference. She says it creates a bumpier seam. That can mean a baseball has different bumps and textures than a pitcher is used to pitching with, leading to blisters with pitchers who grip the ball in a certain way. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, so we'd have to wait and see if there's any other theories that come out about this. But I guess it's as plausible as anything else that we've seen the last few years, and certainly it would explain some of the blister injuries. And we'll see where this leads us. Whether Major League Baseball wants to investigate this further is just, they haven't made a comment, and we're not sure. So we'll see how that all works. But there you go. Doctor says it's the yarn. All right. Congratulations to Corey Kluber. He's the first in the AL to 10 wins. He got it today, pitching a beautiful game against the Detroit Tigers. Also, congratulations go out to Albert Pujols, who passed Stan the Man Musial of St. Louis Cardinals on the all-time RBI list. He drives in his 1,952nd run to move into sixth place. So congratulations to Albert Pujols on that. And it's quite a year for Pujols. A couple of weeks ago, he passed 3,000 hits. Now he's moved into sixth place on the all-time RBI list. So he's having quite the season. So is George Springer with the Astros. He hit his 23rd leadoff home run in his career and his 5th this season. So hit the first pitch of today's game, a fastball from Rangers starter Matt Moore to the grassy berm in straightaway center field at Globe Life Park. The ball traveled 423 feet according to StatCast. Well, here we go. Exit velocity, folks, 103.1 miles per hour. Springer now has 23 leadoff homers for his career. That ranks second on Houston's all-time list behind only Hall of Famer Craig Biggio, who had 53 leadoff homers during his 20-year Astros career. So Springer, that's some good team, that Houston Astro team, I'm telling you. They have a bunch of really good players on it, and I know we're going to look at the standings a little bit later, and they've slipped a little bit, but they're still a very, very good team. And this week was the MLB Amateur Draft. Anybody caught that? Detroit picked first. And let's see, a number of the teams are close to signing their number one picks already. The Red Sox close to signing top draft pick. Cases, the Mets have signed their number one pick. It's being reported. A couple other teams getting the signing done. It's very, very pivotal that they get these guys signed and in, especially if they want to assign them to the New York Penn League. Those teams that have teams in the Penn League, because they're starting up in less than a week, the 15th of June, I believe it is. This Friday they're starting. So you want to get those guys into camp. You want to get them signed into camp and ready to go. So very important week for Major League Baseball teams and their draft picks. Got to get them signed, get them going, get them on teams so they can start their professional experience. And, we've talked, Rich and I, about expansion in baseball, and some subject that comes up now and then. Montreal, of course, is looking to get a team, but another city has entered the mix, and that is Portland, Oregon, and they are looking at possible sites to build a Portland Major League Baseball ballpark. The Portland Diamond Project has been making the push to build a new ballpark that only can accommodate an MLB team. In a concept that has been floated in previous reports, a 32,000-seat ballpark would serve as the centerpiece of a multi-use development that include up to 8,000 apartments. 2 sites have been previously identified, and now they're looking at another site. So Portland is looking to get into this whole thing of expansion by building a ballpark, and I guess it's the old adage from Field of Dreams: if you build it, they will come. So perhaps they're hoping that if they can get a ballpark, they can go to Major League Baseball and say, "Look, we've got a park. We're ready to go. Here it is, and give us a franchise. We're ready to go." So Portland is looking into building a ballpark. And in New York State, a $1 million state Senate grant has been secured for future upgrades to Doubleday Field in Cooperstown, New York. They have a large project there that they want to get done to keep that field. And anybody's gone to Cooperstown, I'm sure you've gone to Doubleday Field. They play that special game there every year, the Hall of Fame game. They play it on Memorial Day. I can't think of the exact name of it, but that's every year now that they play that. They used to have a Hall of Fame game played on that weekend or the day or two after the induction, where it was a couple of major league teams, but I think the teams didn't want to send their players, didn't want to come, and so they've changed it now. But they have a bunch of retired players and some Hall of Famers, and it's a really nice weekend. You should try to get there. But Doubleday Field's a very old field, and they're going to upgrade it, and that's a pretty neat thing that they can get that money to upgrade that field. And it's like old-time baseball. It really is. It's an old-time field, and it's what's disappearing across the landscape. And so good for them that they've got that grant. All right, we're going to take a quick break and be back. This will be a short show tonight, but just wanted to get something on in the books, if you will, and hopefully Rich will join us the next time. But let's take a break right now and take a listen to these messages.
We'd love to hear your comments. You can reach Gary at baseballtalkradio.com or me, Rich at baseballtalkradio.com. We'd love to hear your comments, so send them in. Subscribe to the Baseball Talk Radio Show on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, or Podomatic.com. This way you'll never miss an episode. Gary, I think I'm going to go over to baseballtalkradio.com and listen to all the baseball talk shows there. Do you think I can cram it all in on a weekend?
No, I don't think so. It's going to take you quite some time, but there's a little bit of everything there. Cover most of the teams and Japanese baseball, fantasy baseball, all there at baseballtalkradio.com, the home of great baseball talk shows. And go check it out. It's a great place. And if you'd like to help us out a little bit, you can go to patreon.com, become a sponsor of the show. Help us out. $2 a month, $1 a month, anything you can give it all would be gratefully appreciated, and help us do more of this kind of thing, the video, and expand our capabilities, and maybe some on the road surprises in the summertime. So that's patreon.com/baseball talk. Give whatever you can. We'd greatly appreciate it. Please go and help us out.
You're listening to baseballpodcasts.net.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get a PhD in life through baseball? Welcome to Baseball PhD, a tour company for your brain. 30 major league teams, 100 places to see. Let's touch them all as we make the road trip of a lifetime.
your place for interesting baseball talk, opinions, and history.
Baseball and BBQ, your place for barbecue recipes, tips, and interviews from the world of barbecue. If you like baseball and if you like barbecue, then tune in to Baseball and BBQ. Find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and BaseballTalkRadio.com, along with Mets Musings and other great baseball podcasts.
And we're back, and it's time to take a look at the standings in the American League. The Yankees are leading in the American League East by percentage points. They actually have 2 less wins and 4 less losses, but they have a lot of games to make up the Yankees. They're leading that division, Eastern Division, over the Boston Red Sox, and Toronto is a distant third, 14.5 games back, followed by Tampa Bay and Baltimore. In the American League Central, Cleveland is leading at 34-29. It looks like they may be turning it around now. They've been at 500, and now they're starting to pull a little bit away, 5 games over 500. So perhaps they're turning it around a little bit there in Cleveland. Detroit is in second with a 31-36 record, 5 games out. Minnesota is at 28-34, and they are 5.5 games out. The White Sox and the Kansas City Royals bringing up the rear in the Central Division. In the West, a surprise, the Seattle Mariners have taken, they're in a virtual tie with the Houston Astros. Seattle's at 41-24. Houston's at 42-25. They're about 4 percentage points ahead of Houston at this point, Seattle. It's literally a virtual tie in that division. LA is still in the race. The Angels, they are at 37-29. They are 4.5 games out of first. Oakland is 34-32, above 500, hanging in there at 7.5. And Texas is bringing up the rear at 15.5. In the National League in the East, the Washington Nationals have taken over first place. They are 36-26, and they got a half-game lead over the Atlanta Braves, who are coming in at 37-28. They're a half-game back. Philadelphia Phil starting to slide just a little bit. They are at 33-30, still over 500. And they are 3.5 back. And then comes my Mets, who are in a complete, total tailspin, it seems. They are 27-34. What can I say? They are 8.5 games back and falling fast. Miami brings up the rear at 23-42. Milwaukee's got the lead in the Central, but here come the Chicago Cubbies. Milwaukee's got a half-game lead on the Cubs. Milwaukee's at 39-26. The Cubbies are at 37-25. St. Louis is in the race at 35-26, and they are 3 games back. And Pittsburgh's still in the race, game under 500, 32-33. But they're only 7 back, so they're still in that race. Cincinnati brings up the rear at 23-43, 16.5 games back in the division. And over to the National League West, well, somebody woke up the sleeping giant because the Dodgers are making a run at it. Arizona holds the lead now, 35-29. It's a 2.5 game lead over the LA Dodgers at 33-32. The Giants are right there. They are at 500, 32-32, but they're only 3 games out, so they're a half a game behind the Dodgers. And Colorado is at 32-33, and they're only a half game behind the Giants, so they're 3.5 out of first. And lo and behold, San Diego is at 31-36, and they are still in it. They are only 5.5 games out, so that might be the division to watch. I would keep an eye on the NL West, the NL Central for sure. The East could be interesting, but Washington's there now. I think they're going to expand their lead and take that. And the West in the American League should be an interesting one as well. So a couple of things to watch as we go forward into the season. We're almost up to July 4th. I know, it's only a couple of weeks away, folks. Time flies when you're having fun, and that's when a lot of things are going to be happening, and then we're going to come up into the trade deadline, and so a lot of fun things going on in the world of baseball. So lots of stuff for us to report upon in the next few weeks. All right, we're always talking about food here, and not our particular kind of food or food that we be searching for, but PETA, the organization, puts out an annual list of vegan-friendly ballparks, and it has a number one on their list is Target Field, home of the Minnesota Twins, where vegan brats and Italian sausages, Impossible burgers, vegan Dahlia cheese pizza, and tofu vindaloo carry the day. PETA annually ranks MLB ballparks on a variety of vegan dishes on the menus, and every year it seems to change. Stakes are getting higher. More people must be going vegan. Don't look at don't look at me to go that way, but it's good for those people that are ballparks lovers and want to go to the ballpark, catch a game. They can have their choice. In the second spot is Globe Life Park, home of the Texas Rangers, which offers a Frito pie topped with Beyond Meat crumbles for a vegan twist on a Texas classic. In third place is Progressive Field, home of the Cleveland Indians, which offers vegan grilled cheese, Beyond burgers, and non-dairy ice cream. Rounding out PETA's list are PNC Park, the Pirates' home field, at number 4, Chase Field, home of the Diamondbacks, at number 5, and Rogers Center at number 6. They're followed by Citi Field in 7th place, home of the Mets, Citizen Bank Park, home of the Phillies, in 8th, Safeco Field, where the Mariners reside, in 9th, and finally, the Kansas City Royals, Kaufman Stadium, comes in 10th in the PETA list for vegan-friendly ballparks. So there you go. There's a choice for everybody at the ballpark. So when you go, at least you can have that option and enjoy the game and some food. All right, so that's going to do it for this episode of the Baseball Talk Radio Show. Again, Rich is on assignment. Hopefully he'll be back with me next week, and we'll do a better job. But until then, have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you then.